Okay, discussion from the board. Any members of the board? Mr. Flood?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also met with the applicant on Kuhio, and I talked to him for 15-20 minutes. It appears that he has done some upgrades to the area, and right now I have no problem to grant him the variance.
Okay.
A huge band came in under the tents, and they played quite loudly for most of the weekend. And I wasn't sure if it had anything to do with this gentleman's motorcycles or not, or is there a permit needed to do this? I'm just asking the question.
What, Mr. Flood?
I understand that was their anniversary party, and I asked Steve, he said no, he had no involvement at all.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board? Mr. Flood?
A couple of 3 or 4 weeks ago, somebody, individual, farm or company, has posted these guys all over town, not just in Waikiki, but maybe citywide. We set out our team, we took a lot of them down, but it takes about 15 seconds to glue them to the poles, about 30 minutes to take them down with a razor, because a new type of glue that you can't get down. So we got about 50 out. Then 2 weeks later, same people came back and posted these guys all over town. They stapled them, glued them, double time, and we're concerned because we can't get somebody to identify the person who's responsible for the company. So my question to the police is, what ordinance goes to this so we can call these people? Because I understand years ago it was $25 per poster. So can you explain to me what we can do?
Yes, there is an ordinance that deals with that.
Last question. On the break dancers on Kalakaua, somebody wrote a letter to the newspaper complaining they couldn't get by because sometimes there are 100, 150 people. Sometimes it spills into Kalakaua. So sometimes I call, the police come by, they respond pretty quick, but it happens over and over and over again. How can we get away these people who are entertaining our tourists, but taking control of our sidewalks?
Right, that becomes a free speech issue.
Mr. Flood?
I understand this is right across the street from the Four Paddle.
Yes.
I have a major concern. There are 250 apartments at the Four Paddle, mostly older people, and I'm just concerned as a real estate broker, those values could plummet. And I know everybody says you can't in your backyard, but it's just going to happen across the street. And if we have homeless people who will hang out there and across the street at the parking lot, and a little friend across the street also, do we have any opportunity to approve or not to approve this move to this homeless shelter?
Mr. Flood, you've been waiting patiently.
Thank you so much. A couple of questions. I understand you're only paying rent $1 per month to Bob Magoon. Is that right or not?
I believe that's right. I'm not positive, but I believe so, yes.
Okay, so when you leave, whenever, all the upgrades, all the refurbishments will go back to him.
Correct.
Okay. If you know about Santa Monica, California, where I was from years ago, when they installed their homeless services, they attracted 3,000 people, Santa Monica, about the same as Waikiki. You have to understand, it'll be a magnet from all the people from the North Shore, come to Santa Monica, Waikiki, sorry. I'm really concerned we're going to have the engine that drives our economy, we're going to be hit big time if the people now feel like San Francisco, they're going to stop going. But you just said you had expanded your programs because you've outgrown your home and you want to have a bigger home. And when does it stop? And when do we stop it and get it out of Waikiki? Even though you say sometimes you don't see the dirt in front of you because it's been there for so long time. Well, this is a big problem for our neighborhood, and we're concerned that you're going to expand over and over, and you're going to have walk around Waikiki at nighttime, and you'll see the people sleeping on the streets, in the parks, on the beach, and it's going to happen over and over again. There's going to be one building studios and 1 bedrooms for the seniors, and the other building for 2 bedrooms. And it turned out they're only building right now a high-rise just for the non-affordable, but they start at $400,000 for 2 bedrooms. So sometimes when we hear a presentation from a developer, what finally ends up is not what we first time. Donald Trump just announced he's going to do a 350 feet high-rise, 35 stories, Saratoga, right across the street from the Outrigger. They're buying that lot from the Outrigger. They're going to start at $700,000, Donald Trump's new entry into Waikiki. So our prices are not become affordable, it's just the other way around. Thank you.
Mr. Flood?
Thank you for showing up. As a preference, I'm the captain, Waikiki Citizens Patrol. So a couple nights ago on Kuhio, there was a street person, homeless person, camping out in front of 2121 vacant lot on the grass. So I called 911. They showed up within 5 minutes, but they told me they can't arrest or kick him out because I'm not the landlord or the owner or the agent. So how do we do that when people are camping out on private property?
Well, that is a big concern. As a private landowner, they obviously have the right to have whomever they want on their property. We don't have the right to kick somebody off private property unless we're requested to by the property owner. So if you call us, what we can do is check to try and find the property owner. Unfortunately, sometimes we can't. In that case, normally what we'll try and do is locate the owner of the property. If it's a building, it's a lot easier. If it's a vacant lot, it's kind of difficult. And call them up and see if, in fact, this person has permission to be on the property, and if they're willing to initiate a trespass complaint against that person. If they're not, then we can't tell them to get off private property, unfortunately.
Okay. Can the property owner post a sign, no trespassing, on their property? Would that give the policeman the right to then kick the people out?
That's tough. They can do that, sure. But what we would do to protect ourselves from liability would still try and contact the owner. Because even though there are signs posted, sometimes they do give permission. It could be somebody working. I understand, but to protect our officers and our city from liability, we will contact the owner of the property first to verify that this person does not belong on their property.
But you understand our frustration. If the person is camping out on the public property on the sidewalk, they can be kicked out.
Yes.
But if they're on private property, then we have to get to the owner or the agent to get them out.
Yes, basically, yes, sir. That's a problem we face, and the people who do that know that, so they don't go on the public property; they'll go on the private property, and there are some vacant properties. But thank you for the questions.
Donald Trump starts at $400,000 for a studio. The question to you is, studio, 400 square feet. First question, no timeshare, right?
No timeshare.
And you've got 9,000 square feet commercial.
Planned.
Is that the future home of Irish Rose?
I don't know. I couldn't answer that for you.